Locked in, locked in, locked in, locked in. Welcome to HerWay UnLocked. No way late. Unapologetically share her voice, her journey, her way.
Hey everyone, this is your girl, Miss Truth, and welcome back to another episode of HerWay UnLocked. I am the founder of Finding You Sis, as well as the host of this beautiful podcast, HerWay UnLocked, where women can come here, share their story, their journey, their authentic way. So let's go ahead and get into today's conversation. All right, everyone. If you are here with me today, I want you to stick here with me and don't forget to subscribe, comment. Let me hear from you. It really helps me to continue to grow by you sharing this platform with your friends and family. So again, I'm glad that you're here with me. I want to talk to you about something that a lot of us feel, but we don't say it out loud. That is that feeling that life has just put us back at square one. You know that place where you're like, wait a minute, really? Again, I'm back here at square one? No. Yes, that's what we're going to talk about today. And if you've been there lately, I want you to hear me when I say this. Starting over doesn't mean that you failed. It means that you're being repositioned, realigned. You're just being lined up with what you're truly were meant for anyway. I know that somebody needs to hear this today, and maybe that somebody is you. Okay, so let's be real. Starting over is hard. It is hard. It's uncomfortable. It's also a humbling experience. And if you're really being honest, it kind of feels embarrassing. It can be embarrassing. We look at other people and think, why are they so far ahead? Why am I here again? But here's the thing. The story that we tell ourselves, the one thing that makes us feel like we're behind, it's all a lie. Because who are we running this race against? You're not behind. You're right where God wants you to be. Starting over, if you need to start over, it doesn't mean that you failed. It's growth. It's asking you to move. It's time to move forward. Sometimes it's not about, moving fast. It's about moving in the right direction. See, a lot of us, we think that starting over is proof that we messed up. No, baby, you didn't mess up. You did not mess up. We look at society at times. We look at, people's timelines. We look at Instagram highlights. We feel shame because life doesn't look the same as someone else's. But listen, and hear me really good. Failure says you're done. Repositioning says you're being redirected. You're being realigned. You haven't failed because you had to start over, because you're not done. You're just being repositioned where God has you, where he really wants you to be. Maybe a door closed on you, not because you weren't good enough, but it's because it wasn't the right door for your life at that time. And maybe what's next, it could feel scary. I truly understand. It's something that's unfamiliar, but that's exactly why it's meant for you. Now, here's something that I want you to hear me really, really clear on. You were not rejected. You were not forgotten. You were not overlooked. You are being repositioned. That's it. You were repositioned. Sometimes God just removes what no longer fits in our life. That can be relationships with people, friends, significant others, roles. He's removing us out of those roles because those roles no longer serve our purpose. It could also be seasons of our life. That season is done. It's done, but it can feel very lonely at times. Trust me, I've been there. It can feel very frustrating too, because you're like, wait a minute, I have to start over again because we're comfortable. But that doesn't mean it's punishment. He's not trying to punish you. He's protecting you. It's all protection. You didn't lose the fight. You just outgrew. And growth, sometimes it demands new beginnings. It demands you to have to start over again. So what to know and how to tell the difference between I messed up and I'm just being repositioned. Because sometimes you need to know those signs. So when you feel restless in a space that used to feel comfortable, you're no longer comfortable again at that time. You're no longer comfortable anymore. That is a sign that you're being repositioned because you're no longer comfortable. How about this one? Doing all the right things and you still feel empty. You're doing all of the right things, but you still feel empty. That's a sign. Here's another one. A quiet pull forward. Sometimes something new that you can't explain. A quiet pull forward. Remember, God is trying to pull you forward. It's something new and you can't explain it. That's a sign that you're being repositioned. Also, it could be the season of pruning, that season of silence. It feels still, like that still moment. Have you ever been there before where you feel like it's just quiet? Everything around you just feels still. You're still. Things can be moving, but you're in a standstill, but necessary. This is a repeat time, the reset time for you in your life. The reset often shows up very, very quietly. There's no applause. You just may feel that nudge. I know when I moved from California, when I moved from Atlanta, every move that God had for me, it was a nudging that he had for me. I literally was being nudged. There was new opportunities. He kept telling me, I have bigger, I have better for you. And that's okay. It doesn't mean that anything bad happened. It just means that better is on the way. So you have to remember to pay attention to those signs of nudging. Pay attention to when something is no longer serves you purpose. Okay, now here is where it's going to get good for you. Okay. In a recent sister circle that I had this month, we ended our discussion with affirmation. And this is something that I told the ladies we're going to continue to do moving forward because we have to affirm ourselves. If you don't pour into yourself and you have an empty cup, it's not enough for you to pour into others. So you have to continue to pour into yourself. So in our discussion, the affirmation really, really stuck with me. And that affirmation was, I give myself permission to begin again. Now, that's the part that most of us skip. We don't give ourselves permission to begin again. We give permission to everyone else around us, but we never give that same permission to ourselves. You have to give yourself permission to stop replaying old mistakes. Have you ever been there before when you're literally sitting down and you are just replaying in your mind all of the old mistakes that you've made and how you wish you shoulda, coulda, woulda, did things differently? I know I'm not the only one. I'm like, wait a minute, I shouldn't have got into that relationship. I shouldn't have become friends with that person. I just knew I shouldn't have done that. You have to give yourself permission to stop replaying old mistakes. Stop punishing yourself for things that were life lessons. You had to go through it. What about this? Permission to honor what you've learned and just begin again. I started something and I'm giving myself the permission to say, hey, that was a start. You were learning something. It's okay if you need to start again. That is okay. It doesn't mean you failed. It doesn't mean that the story is over. The beautiful thing about it is it's okay that you have the ability to begin again. It doesn't erase your story. It only builds on it. You're not starting from zero. Remember, you've already been through it before. So you've learned the lesson. You're starting now. If you have to start over, a place of wisdom, you've already been there. You've also starting from a place of experience because now you've actually been through it. So now you're experienced the second time around. And now you feel that, hey, I've gone there before. I know what it feels like. I can do it. You may have to talk to yourself, but you have the wisdom, you have the experience, you have the growth. So give yourself permission to honor what you've already learned the first time. That's if you have to begin again. It's okay. Also, give yourself permission to know that not only are you starting over with that wisdom now, you have experience, but what about the growth? Because where you were 10 years ago is not where you are today. Who you were 10 years ago is not who you are today. So you have to give yourself room to grow. It is okay to begin again. All right. So let's move forward. What does beginning again actually require? Starting over doesn't mean that you need a full roadmap or new plan at all. It doesn't mean that you need something that's perfect that needs to come to mind, some perfect clarity point. It just means that you need faith and you need courage. See, the thing about it is not often we don't trust God enough. We say we trust him, but we're not trusting him enough in the things that He has actually repositioned us to do. Because when you're being repositioned and you're realigning, it is because God is saying, hey, you may have gotten off of the right, you may have turned down the wrong street. You're driving down, He's already given you the map, but you may have taken a little bit of a detour. And now He's just trying to reposition you and realign you for your purpose. So you have to trust God in this next step, in this next season. It's not about how you see it, it's the way that God views it. He's going to guide you. Remember, He's your guide. All you have to do is rest in it. You don't need permission from anyone else. You don't need permission from your friends. You don't need permission from your family. You don't even need permission from your past self. You only need permission from God. That's it. That is it. So wherever you are right now in your life, it may feel like you are at a reset point. I know where you're at because I'm there too. Just take a deep breath and say this with me. I give myself permission to begin again. I give myself permission to begin again. I'm not behind. I am just being repositioned. I am becoming. I'm in my becoming season. Beginning again isn't a setback. It's a setup. Who needed to hear that? Let me say that again. Being repositioned is not a setback. It's a setup. It's a setup for the blessing that God has for your next season. You're just being realigned. You're being repositioned for a greater purpose. So let me tell you this. Your story is not over. This is the chapter where purpose begins and is really crystal clear now. Because remember, you've been there. You have the wisdom. You have the experience. You have the growth. Your story isn't over. This is the next chapter. Repositioning for purpose. So I want you to do this. I want you to step in it and I want you to trust God. Step in it with faith. Step in it with courage. Step into it knowing that you are exactly where you're supposed to be. I'm sure you're feeling empowered now because I know I am. So I want you all to sit in that today. Sit in that moment of being repositioned. Give yourself permission to start over. Give yourself permission to begin again. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for sitting with me today. I am going to see you on the next episode of HerWay UnLocked. Now, before we end, I want to remind you to do something. Make sure you share this episode, like, comment. Let me know where you are in your season. Are you in the season of being repositioned? Comment for me. And if you missed another episode of HerWay UnLocked, make sure you go to the website and tune in to HerWay UnLocked. HerWay UnLocked. HerWayUnlocked.com. You will be able to go back on our past episodes. Make sure you stay locked in with us so you never miss an episode. All right, y'all. Until next time, I'm out. Love y'all.
Locked in, locked in, locked in, I'm in. Welcome to Way Unlocked. No way less. Unapologetically share her voice, her journey, her way.